Episode of Tarot After Dark. So we're going to be doing these more often on this channel. So welcome everybody, welcome in. Let's look at the energies between you and your love connection. So I have a lot of different decks that we're going to use tonight. I think we'll start off with the Accurate AF Tarot. Gives really good messages. Really strong messages come in from this deck. And then I also want to use the Badass Tarot tonight. So hopefully you guys like this. Anyway, all right. So right away, the overall energy that we're getting here is the Ace of Swords with the Queen of Wands and the Two of Cups. This is about a breakthrough. And what this particular Ace of Swords has that's a little bit different about it is that it has a nod to both the Two of Swords and the Three of Swords, because you can see kind of the shadow of the other two swords. And with this energy, it's like we go from having a situation that we're in that perhaps starts off with that one sword where there's clarity, where there's like kind of like that mental focus around a person. So it's like at first where you're very mentally focused on one another, and it's like just a singularity and everything is aligned because of that. And then it can move into the Two Swords where there's a roadblock, or there's a choice to be made, or there's a battle of the mind, like somebody's battling the energy of an indecision, a choice around something else, some confusion, like the mental clarity kind of goes away, the doubt creeps in. And then from there, it can move into the Three of Swords where it turns into a betrayal or a heartbreak. Perhaps even a third party situation where there's another energy that comes in and it disrupts your connection, because we have the Two of Cups there, and that really does talk about, you know, that soul connection. So I see that the person that we're talking about tonight, you had a soul connection with them. The cups matched. We see like the one drop there, that one vibration, two people really coming together in a soul connection. And it's like with the waves or the tide that comes together, like there was still some energy of having to bridge a gap between the two of you, but that you successfully did that. The Queen of Wands coming in, she is the Queen of Fire. So it's that kind of warrior spirit for the feminine, very independent, self-sufficient. And I feel like right now, maybe that's the kind of clarity that you're having, is that maybe you're realizing where even though you had this connection with this person, ultimately you still had to rely on yourself. Like there wasn't really that a full coming together, because I feel like the waters never really reached each other fully. And bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups, you know, he is like the sweet talker and he says all the right things. It's definitely a nod to a romance. It's Piscean energy, so it can be a bit elusive, and it's someone who can come in like the knight in shining armor there on the horse, you know, and it's very romantic. So I'm seeing that the two of you had a very romantic type of connection. Now the Queen of Wands, she is fiery, so she's not going to, she's sovereign, so she's not going to like stay inside of a situation that's not honoring her for too long. And with the Knight of Cups being there, that's somebody that can certainly fit the bill. Like they can walk the walk and they can talk the talk, but it's somebody that may be inconsistent after a while. And bottom of the deck under the Knight of Cups was the Three of Pentacles or the Three of Rings. So in this deck, the rings, they really talk about like commitment and union. And it is that third party energy that I was picking up on. So it doesn't have to be that there was another romantic connection involved, although there could have been, but it is really where there was an outside energy that was really having an effect on this relationship. So we have the Nine of Swords where somebody is in a place of regret. Believe me, this person is all up in their feels over you. We have the Emperor with the Five of Pentacles at the bottom. And it's where like you can kind of see that person is like, they're missing a piece of the puzzle, but it's also where you may be missing a piece of the puzzle. And it's over their eye. So it's something about the person that you were with, or maybe even for you, like you didn't quite see the whole story or the whole picture about this person. Maybe they came in like as an emperor, because we're seeing the Emperor here where they seemed very sure of themselves. That would match the Queen of Wands energy, Aries. Like they seem very sure of themselves, but there's something here about their ego. And I don't know, this person could self-medicate. They could actually be on like some type of mood stabilizer, but then there's no judgment around that at all, you know, because sometimes those things are really necessary for someone. But I'm feeling with this Knight of Cups, like a moodiness about this person where they come in and they're very present, and then they kind of, they like magically disappear and they're nowhere to be found. It is that very in and out kind of energy that I feel like you were dealing with. And the Sun was underneath the Three of Pentacles. So, and then the Three of Swords. Yeah. So there's that Three of Swords I was seeing. And I feel like because you're coming in as the Queen of Wands, and that's Aries energy, and the Sun is exalted in Aries. So the Sun loves being in Aries, and it's like you were the light. You were definitely bringing light to them. I feel in some ways you were even like boosting their ego for themselves. Like there was something about you. You made them feel really good about themselves. And they may have done that for you too, because of the Two Cups there, like all things being equal, and kind of a mirror reflection for one another. You can see these cups, they're still kind of tied to one another through an etheric bond, an eternal bond. So this is definitely a soul connection. The Three of Pentacles does talk about soul agreements that we have with some people. So we're going to try to like get into what that soul agreement was. But I feel that you gave this person like a lot of energy, positive energy is what you did for them with the Sun. The Emperor, that's that pill box. It says egotism. Like you gave them like an ego boost, I feel. And now that your presence may not be as like present, your presence isn't really in their life anymore, or as much anymore. For some of you, not at all. They're really feeling the weight of that. And it's like something is missing with the Five of Pentacles being there, and it is that oh shit moment. But I feel with the puzzle piece being there missing, it's something that this person was blind to. It could even be where in some ways your light was so bright that it was casting a light on all of their shadows. That could have been a big thing inside of this connection, like casting a light on their shadows. Maybe they were doing that for you too. You know, that again, all things being equal here with that Two of Cups. So let's get into this a little bit deeper and see what happens here. This is kind of the overall energy. So what's this person's energy? And maybe it's interesting because with the Nine of Swords here, the tears are coming out of the eyes. And here he is missing a piece of the puzzle piece to one of his eyes. And that would be his left eye, which is the feminine side. So it's almost like maybe an inability as an emperor to fully understand the feminine form, the depth of the emotions of the feminine form, and it's not gender specific, it's energy. So the roles could be reversed, and take that the way that you will. So right now we have choices here with the Two of Wands and the Six of Wands and the King of Wands. So that's the egotism that I'm seeing here. The King of Wands being Leo energy, Six of Wands being Leo energy, Two of Wands being Aries energy. It's like maybe this person is kind of making it seem like they're cool, everything's okay, they've got it going on. They may be kind of even strutting their stuff, like in some circles you would call that like they're peacocking, so it has like a kind of haughtiness to it. This may be somebody that does have some type of a public image. King of Wands, Leo, Six of Wands is like the star, so it has that high accolade, high victory kind of energy. This would be like some type of, whether it's an actor, performer, the boss of a company, the boss at their job, somebody who has public recognition. They may even be well known. And here I feel they're really maybe in a place of flexing for some of you. The Two of Wands being there where it is that kind of flex of like, well, I have other options, I'm independent, I have the whole world in my hands kind of energy. And that's maybe where this person is at right now. And it could even be where there are other things in their life that they're having to replace with you, with your energy as a Queen of Wands, because now we have the divine counterparts, King and Queen of Wands, where I am feeling like there is something about the two of you, like you're on an equal playing field. And that was when you came together. It was so obvious that, that even where one of you had a strength, the other one was lacking, and where they were lacking, you had that strength. And that was sort of what created that bond between the two of you. Very, very strong fire energy here and water energy. That's also here. So I feel with the Five of Pentacles, there is something about worthiness and what somebody feels that they're lacking. And the Nine of Swords, one of you or both of you feels some type of regret over this. Could even be where maybe you feel embarrassed about something that you said or did in reaction, and maybe they feel shame around some of the energy that they brought forth. We have the moon that's coming out here, Piscean energy. So there is a lot of Pisces energy. And if the two of you were dealing with each other over this past year, really, there was so much Pisces energy with the moon and the Knight of Cups. There was so much Pisces energy in the sky. And that can be like the fantasy, okay? So it may have felt very fantastical, like the two of you coming together. It was it was a fantasy. It was like almost like a wish come true. We have the Nine of Cups coming in here, like a wish come true. It was kind of like a fantasy. And but because that was all the Pisces energy that the collective was moving through, and now we're moving into that, we have that 0 point energy that's been happening, and now it's moving to Aries. So where the rose-colored glasses were on you, I feel that they have dissolved. Pisces is about disillusionment and dissolving of things that are false. And especially when we were at that 28th, 29th degree of Pisces for Neptune, and more recently for Saturn, it is where like the propaganda can come in such a big way. It's the energy of massive deception. And I feel like that is dissolving before your very eyes with the moon coming in and the feminine energy of like really being able to see it for what it is. Because we have the Knight of Swords or the Spirit of Swords here, and it's a nod to like your light body. And that Gemini energy of wanting the facts. It's not about swimming in the fantastical waters of the Piscean energy anymore. It's more about what are the facts, give me the facts. But it's also where I feel that throughout this, your intuition has been very strengthened. And I feel for this person and for you, it's been showing where your wounding is. 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior, and like where your strength has been tested. With the 9 of Wands, it's really somebody who they have put up so many boundaries. So it may have been with the Emperor there. I'm getting a ringing in my right ear, like very, very high pitched. But with the Emperor there, it's somebody who may have had very strong boundaries, like they wouldn't fully let you into their life. It's kind of like they let you in where they let you in into certain areas, and but kind of kept you at an arm's length because they're very hesitant. It's somebody who, in the 9 of Wands, like he has the bandage around his head. So it is a nod to that wound of the self. And we have Chiron in Aries. Like we're still, for, the past 10 years almost, we've been in a Chiron in Aries identifying the wounds of the self. Maybe you both have a Chiron in Aries. Maybe one of you does. And it is that wound of the self. And really of the ego. And also identifying sort of, for you, I feel like where you have to be your own advocate, because I do feel that this connection was really rooted in something very soulful. 2 of Cups, Knight of Cups, 9 of Cups, like there was a lot of soul that was in the connection, and that's also the Piscean energy. It's the 12th house, Neptune of the soul. So that was there. But again, like with the kind of the charade falling, and they didn't want to see something. We're going to ask, like, what didn't this person want to see? So they have created all of these boundaries around them, and it's someone that can be very suspicious. Like, so they're hesitant. They're almost like, with the 9 of Wands, it's almost like he's sitting there waiting for somebody to come and attack him in some way. So I feel like this person is prone in some way in their own life. They've been prone to a lot of attacks from other people, whether it's been on their character, on their integrity, maybe the way that they parent, because we have the Emperor there. Maybe it's the way that they've conducted business in their life. Like they've been very prone to attack. And it's someone who, when they have made mistakes like in the past, I do feel that they have felt that shame and regret around it. Even if it's a masculine energy or whatever energy, it's the way that they've even caused pain to the other person. So I do feel like maybe what they weren't seeing, all of a sudden they started to see something, and they got scared of repeating a cycle. And it definitely goes back to their past. And it's almost like not wanting to repeat a cycle again. I feel that there was a conversation here that came in with the Knight of Swords. It's like that energy can be very like aggressive, like with the communication, like wanting to really have the conversation and get the truth out. It wants to get to the bottom of the truth. Gemini can be like the investigator. It wants to get to the truth. Falling out over this King of Wands, because now we're kind of seeing this person, like, I don't know, it's like they're acting unbothered is what I'm seeing here. They're just carrying on with their business. They're in their king energy, right? They're flexing. They might even be feeling good about themselves right now to some degree. Clarifying that is the King of Wands. So we have the King of Wands clarifying the King of Wands. And with that, we have the Knight of Pentacles, Virgo energy. So we have the mutable energy of Gemini and Virgo. And we have the fixed energy here, and Pisces would be more mutability. And then we have this fixed Leo energy. So I feel like to some degree, like this person actually does really have this big ego with the Emperor, the Aries energy being there, and that bottle, like saying like, it says egotism 500 milligrams. It's like a prescription for it. So, you know, maybe this person has gone to therapy in the past, and I shouldn't even be laughing, you know. Maybe they've gone to therapy for this. Maybe they've been seeking counsel for this for years in their life. It's a definite possibility. But anyway, I feel like a lot of this has to do with their career, with the Knight of Pentacles there. And you can see this King of Wands, like he kind of thinks he's all that, but he's not even seeing himself clearly. And that could be this kind of missing piece. Maybe part of the missing piece is not being able to see themselves very clearly, or not being able to see the whole situation very clearly. And for everybody, myself included, for everybody, it's like we do have our own lens of perception. So we're filtering, that would be the Piscean energy. It's how we filter information. It's how we filter, you know, the psychic information, the information about our emotions. So it's how we're all filtering information is through our own lens of perception. And that's where, you know, you get the kind of psychedelic movement, and they're, you know, really, they've been talking about that for years, about cleansing the doors of perception so that we have like that clear knowing and clear sight. But I feel for them, it's like it's something around their work. Maybe if there's something going on with their habits right now. Virgo is medicine. Maybe this person needs to take some medicine for something. Maybe they need to go to therapy. Virgo Pisces does deal with health, mental health, and all of that. So I'm really seeing that. Plus we have a North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. So it is really that axis of health, physical health, spiritual health, mental health. So I feel that this person is really, they're battling something inside of the area of their life that deals with health. It could be their routine. Let's get some more cards around that. We have the star there at the bottom of the deck. And it's a nod to the female breasts, which is interesting. So, you know, maybe, and we kind of have the cowgirl here at the rodeo where she's like riding the bull, like the bull riding. And it's something around money. This is definitely this King of Wands, Six of Wands, like feeling like, all right, well, I have other options and things, you know, from a masculine kind of egoic energy that make me feel good about myself. And they may not be seeing their situations very clearly right now. They may not be making the right choices for themselves right now. We have the High Priestess in the reverse that's coming out here. So with the High Priestess in the reverse, it's like a nod to their intuition. They're not listening to their intuition right now. Or they could be in a place of like, almost like a dissociation. And do you guys remember in the Netflix series You, when, you know, Joe Goldberg, he's like, I was dissociating, and he's like getting all mad, you know? Not that your person has those types of qualities, but it's like, I don't know, I'm feeling something around their ego and, you know, the way that other people see them. They're dissociating from that. Or maybe that's something that they're having to deal with. It's very internal, and it can be where they're even a bit disconnected from reality is what I want to say. We have the Queen of Wands. I mean, you guys can't make this up. So the Queen of Wands is coming out, and then we have the Five of Cups, where it's like, she's like, bye, you know, bye bitch. So I feel that's what happened here. And we have the Empress there. Okay, so this was the Queen of Wands here. So interesting, being like, bye bitch. And, you know, and I feel like even if you didn't do it like that, or even if you haven't done that, it's still the way that they're seeing it. And it could be the High Priestess could represent you, like going very cold on them, not in communication, not speaking, and just being in that kind of Queen of Wands energy. So we have the King and Queen of Wands twice. So if there was an outside energy that you were dealing with, I feel the outside energy was really their ego. And it was really some type of blindness. There's a blindness. They could only see half of the story, half of the truth. They could only give you half of the story, half of the truth, because there was a blindness that they're experiencing. And I feel with the Virgo energy, that can be where somebody is very focused on work, overly focused on just like the mundane, the day-to-day, their routine. It can be where somebody becomes very nitpicky and starts finding a lot of fault. So you may have experienced that if it felt like they were finding a lot of fault on you. It was really just a projection there. So we got the Page of Cups here coming in, where it's almost like they really want to send you a text. They really want to communicate. We have the Eight of Cups there, and underneath that was the Ten of Cups. So it's like, I feel there's something within them right now that's wanting to communicate, that's wanting to, it's like they're saying, hey baby, you know, and I don't know if they're doing that for you, with you or not. So let's keep going here and get some more messages. So what is your energy right now towards this person? What is your energy inside of this situation? All right, we have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, you know, a self-reliant, Ice Queen, and the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. It kind of came out. So we're getting that. Do we see the Six of Pentacles with them? No, we didn't. But we have the Virgo energy, and the Six of Pentacles is that kind of daily routine, but it's the equal giving and receiving. So I feel that the Queen of Wands that we saw twice is very generous. You know, she's generous with her energy, with her light. She's going to, you know, give you all of her fire, and she's going to reflect the sunshine right at you. And, you know, and with the King of Wands, that's a beautiful mutual reflection of love, of light, of passion, romance, you know, all of that. But with the Queen of Swords and the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, like, you've taken back your light, you've taken back your power. Now, you know, it's like the Ice Queen. So you've definitely gone cold on them. And I feel like they're feeling that. You've gotten in the Chariot, so it's showing me that you're wanting to move forward with something else, with other areas of your life. That's the magic carpet ride right there. So, and the Queen of Wands is very magical, and I don't think that you necessarily wanted to do this, but you were left with no choice. So we get the, for them, the Seven of Cups, which is like looking at all of the different cups and not really having any clarity around any of the, whether it's their own emotional state. They might be like in a state of flux with their emotions here. The Two of Rings in the reverse. So whatever, if they were kind of in a place where they were balancing, juggling you and someone else, choosing between you and someone else, I don't think that that particular choice is there for them anymore, because we have the House of Cards that fell with the Tower. And interesting, because in this deck, it is the tarot cards. And we had the High Priestess in the reverse with the black cat, which is usually seen with the Queen of Wands. And we have that crystal ball. So any kind of insight that they have had into you, any insight, I don't think they know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you want, are like, they feel completely cut off from you. But also the choices that they're left with, I don't think they're really too thrilled about them. It could be somebody being in a place of fantasy. It's something that they go back to with the Knight of Wands, with the Page of Cups, or Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, Nine of Cups. Like, it's a fantastical kind of place. But it's like some of their choices are gone. I feel it's also like an ego death that they're experiencing, because I want to look at more into this current energy for them with the Knight of Wands, with the Six of Wands, you know, like receiving high accolades everywhere you go, having all these opportunities come up. Maybe they do have some choices, but I feel a lot of them have crumbled and they're continuing to crumble. And then I feel with the Two of Rings there that it's like they're not even able to maintain their own balance right now. They may actually be having some type of physical manifestation of that, of feeling like imbalance, you know, some type of dizziness or vertigo, or like it's something like that I'm feeling. And then there's a lot of cards here, but for your King of Wands with the Six of Wands, we have the Eight of Wands. A lot of cards came out with the Magician in the reverse. And I feel like it's interesting because it's almost like with the Eight of Wands, that comes from spirit. And it's like the good news, the good luck, like Cupid's arrow. It's like pure spirit bringing us a gift. The Eight of Wands is really a gift. And it's almost like the return of our commitment, our devotion, and our strength spiritually. With the Magician in the reverse. So I think that they are in a place where they're maybe the way that they were manifesting relationships or opportunities, it's not happening as quickly. People may be even rescinding offers. There's some offers that have been rescinded. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Rings in the reverse. We have the Knight of Wands in the upright. And we have the Fool that was kind of sideways. So it's like they haven't quite been able to start new, like start a new cycle. They're in an old pattern. I think that they realize that they can't sustain this. They can't keep everything in balance right now. So the Fool here has the veil, almost like the way that a high priestess would have a veil. So it's telling me it's something about the instinct, you know, going off of instinct. That would be the Fool at the 0 point, is very instinctual. And it's like things are up in the air. I'm feeling like there's a lot that's up in the air. The Knight of Wands can have more of that, like, somebody who might be on the go, have to be like, get up and go really quickly. It can be the energy of somebody who can go and chase a quick thrill if they need to fulfill some kind of a desire. And with the Nine of Pentacles, I just feel like there's, again, it's something that feels lacking from them physically. It's like a physical, like it could be your energy not being there physically, tangibly, where they can see you, touch you, experience your energy on a face-to-face basis. Like there's maybe some money that was lost or opportunity that was lost. But I don't think that they're really showing that. Three of Wands there at the bottom. I'm sorry, Five of Wands at the bottom. You know, maybe the competition has gotten more steep. Like maybe where they had kind of the market cornered in the past, the competition is now more steep. If they're, you know, if this has to do with dating options and things like that, they're having to really, that might be why they're trying to pretend like everything's good, you know, because the competition is, it's steep out there. But it's also where I feel they're frustrated right now. That's more Leo energy. This person feels very frustrated, like their masculine fire energy is in a state of frustration. So let's see what they want to say to you. Let's see what they want to say to you right now. I still wait for a sign from you. You know, and you as an Ice Queen or the Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, those are the two queens that, you know, they can be very single, self-sufficient. It's Aries, Aries Libra, you know, so a Queen of Swords will want justice. Like she will hear you out, but you have to come to her correct with the facts and be honest and transparent. I'm starting to understand our connection. I still wait for a sign from you. I am starting to understand our connection. And something about a specific day, they remember every detail of it. It could be, I didn't see any Six of Cups here. So I was feeling like, is this person even, I think you're on their mind, but I don't know if they're letting themselves go into that place of like just ruminating. I didn't see even a Five of Cups where they're like ruminating over you, you know? So, but there is a particular event or day, maybe a few days, a few moments that they do remember every detail over, and it's talking about replaying your conversations over and over and over again. So there's one conversation that you had that they are replaying over and over again. It's like, and there's maybe some things that you said to them that stuck with them, that had importance to them. I'm just looking at what other deck we should use. Yeah, it really stayed with them. It stuck with them. Like it was something that you were saying to them that they're starting to have greater understanding around. So let's check in with the angels. We have 303 with forgive. This person really may want to have forgiveness. The threes go back to the Three of Swords, the Three of Pentacles. We saw both of those, the Three of Rings. The Three of Rings is like a soul agreement that you have. And I feel that you were here as a mirror, like a divine mirror, but I don't just mean it in like, you know, that woo-woo spiritual way. Like I mean like that you were energetically their equal. And in some ways, energetically and spiritually, they may have even had that kind of intimidation around you. And I feel Emperor, King of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, this person's image is so important to them. Every detail of their image has been important to them. Virgo energy gets into the detail. Leo energy is about the spotlight. The Emperor is about, you know, having that kingdom, that legacy. So I really feel that you came in and they were actually even quite surprised by what you were offering them energetically and spiritually. And so the Three of Rings here does talk about, like, it's like there's two rings and then the third ring is different, and that's the ring of the divine, and that's like your soul agreement here. So I really feel, and we saw, I think we saw the Empress. No, we didn't see the Empress, but we saw the Three of Swords, the Three of Wands, the Three of Rings. So there's something very important. It's like bringing you guys into a state of maybe like where you want to align better with manifestation in your life and co-creation with other people. I think it's shown you a lot. In this card, we're seeing the zero in the middle. Again, it's like your energy, their energy, and then in the middle is the divine, that 0 point of pure potential. And we see the white heart, which is like the pure heart, and then the black surrounding it. It's a yin and yang, but it's also where I feel that's like a density, a denser energy that's around this person right now. They have a heaviness on their heart. The orange is related to the sacral chakra, you know, of the feminine emotion. So there's something that's hitting them in a very emotional kind of way. And then there's a bit of yellow in there where I feel the darkness has kind of seeped into their solar plexus, which is going to be affecting their energy and their vitality to some degree, and even could affect like the way that they're kind of showing up in their power. So it's actually where I feel with the Three of Rings, it's also where whatever you have inadvertently given away to them, the energy, parts of you, it's like you're retrieving that. That's a soul retrieval of the Three of Rings. So you've been retrieving that. They do want your forgiveness, and they might be waiting for a sign from you. And I don't want to like create any sense of urgency from within you that makes you feel like you have to reach out to them, because I don't think that that's your job. You know, if you're watching this, you could be a masculine watching this and it's still not going to be your job. Okay, interesting energy, but it's like where they have to be willing to take that initiative. The way that an emperor, it's cardinal fire, it will take initiative. However, it also could be where it's an opportunity for you to reflect energetically. If you've energetically put up some boundaries here with this person energetically, you know, you could do some meditation on that to let them know energetically, I'm open to receiving communication. You know, that's high level, and it's kind of like energetically working on this in a higher dimensional kind of way. So very interesting. We got 444 in the reverse with the diamond or the square, and that's like very structural, you know, the 3D, and the purple and the magenta is like a spiritual energy, but it's in the reverse with 444 and protection. So there's also something where I actually feel like you were energetically protecting this person. You were creating some kind of an energetic bubble, because I was feeling this is somebody that's had a lot of judgment put on them from things in their past and past situations, and that's been sort of not taken away, but they're not feeling it as strongly. And with the 000 being there at the bottom, I was telling you that zero energy, the Aries 0 point, moving through that Piscean energy and then starting into the Aries energy, where we identify what is aligned with us, where we have courage, where, you know, we're like not going to sit in victimhood. It goes for the whole collective, you know, and people are going to be less forgiving with Neptune and Saturn in Aries. In Pisces, you could get away with a lot more. You could get away with a lot more deception. You could get away with a lot more of that kind of in and out, you know, it's all love and light. That time is coming to a close, and you can see that, you know, even with some of like the Aubrey Marcus type of stuff, it's not going to be just like, you can say whatever you want now and say that God told you to do something and all is forgiven. This is going to be the Aries energy. It's Mars ruled. It's will take no prisoners. So they want the forgiveness. I don't know what specifically they, you know, what energy they created for you. So it may be where they're feeling scared in some way. It's very interesting. But at the bottom was this beautiful energy of new beginnings, and a 0 point for you, a 0 point for them, a 0 point for the connection. So I feel like energetically something is really shifting here inside of you. Something's energetically shifting inside of them as well. So let's get one last message. We have the Queen of Swords again. So Queen of Wands for you twice, Queen of Swords for you twice. And this Queen of Swords has the moon there with her, and we have the Knight of Wands. So if they come to you like just airy-fairy, like nothing happened, stand your ground is what it's telling me. We have the King of Pentacles here. Maybe for some of you, you know, this person, they might kind of have that sugar daddy energy to some people, and that might be what they're attracting, what they've attracted, and to some degree, maybe they enjoy that. It could be somebody that's very more generous with their money and things like that than they are with their emotions. It just depends. They could like, one day they're like this, the next day they're like that, and like you never really know what you're gonna get. And the Three of Swords there again. So I think it's gonna take a while for them to catch up to you in this moment. For some of you, you've decided enough is enough. The connection is broken. I see clearly now. They might even be like popping up on your socials, liking your posts. They could be doing it through different accounts, because I'm seeing them watching you. And you might be getting more attention. They may be feeling that. it's like they're trying to find out news about you. They're trying to, maybe they feel like you found somebody more successful than them. You know, they're seeing you as like super hot, super beautiful, but you're just like this, you know? And I think they're aware of that too, though. Like with the moon there, it's like you're calm, cool, collected. You're not really letting on. There's really an air of mystery about you. And maybe like your birthday is coming up, or there's some anniversary of something and they want to show up with balloons or flowers or something like that, or a gift for you. That's a possibility too. It's almost like the time, like it's almost like it's been an acid trip. Like it's far out. It's psychedelic. It's weird. Interesting that we're seeing Johnny Depp there. You know, that's a nod to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And if you like Johnny Depp, I have a whole playlist of videos about him and that whole trial. But it's like it's been a big acid trip. It's like, it just feels, maybe the time that you spent together, it just feels like, was it all a dream? Was it all a dream? I might even title this, Was It All a Dream? You know, and the Queen of Cups underneath that. So it just feels like right now, it feels very surreal. The whole situation feels very surreal. So let's get you some, like this is the Coffee Cup Oracle. So let's get you some messages that are more, what's the word? What's the word that I'm looking for? Messages that are more like fortune telling, because that can be fun sometimes. So let's see what Spirit wants you to know. What's coming towards you? What do you have to look forward to? What should you be cautious about, excited about? And we'll just finish up with that. But I think that's going to be the title of this. Like, was it all a dream? You know, this relationship, and I think you're both feeling that way. You know, was it all a dream? Maybe you're connecting in your dreams. Maybe they're popping up in your dreams. So we have the Pearl at the bottom, hidden gem. So there is some hidden gem that's coming to you from all of this. You could even be doing things to enhance your beauty right now with the pearl energy. The pearl coming out of the shell is very rare. So I feel there's also like a rare gift that's coming into your life. And interesting that we had all of this Leo energy, even Aries energy, the cats, the domestic cat, the big cats. We're getting the lion for you, and that's talking about strength and success. And we have the crown. We had 2 queens for you. So beautiful. She kind of looks like that ice queen there. Success and pride. The lion's pride. It's not hubris. So it's like you're the hidden gem too. And if somebody's not able to, whether it's recognize that or get out of their own way to come to you straight, then, you know, yeah, you have love and you have new love. So for you, it's like there's love, there's new love coming to you. This person's definitely watching you, and you may even be feeling that like there's an energy maybe around you of people who feel envious about you. I think the protection is also for you too. And you know, take what resonates and leave the rest. Don't claim it if you don't want to claim this energy. But I'm someone, I do believe in that spiritual protection and clearing energy and removing hooks and things like that. So it could even be here where like there's things that are coming in for you around work, around your business. There's new love that's available. And I'll just ask about this person and then we'll end, because I do feel like this person, like with the Chariot being there, it's Cancer, Sagittarius energy. It's like they do want to come forward towards you, but it almost feels like they don't even know how to act. Like, I feel like they're afraid that they'll get in front of you and they'll be acting like they're on drugs. And maybe you're even sensing like, is this person on drugs? We get the Ocean, their energy towards you. Could really be dealing with a water sign here, but distance and journey. They are at a distance. There's an ocean between you. I felt that from the very beginning with the 2 of Cups. Like the cups are on the shore, but it's like different oceans, and somehow you're still an ocean apart, but there is that one drop. So they're still really feeling you. There's a depth of emotion and soul memory. Their soul remembers your soul, okay? And I feel like if they tried to convince you of otherwise, they were completely blind. They weren't able to either express that to you, maybe they did, but maybe towards the end there was a total breakdown. And so those are your messages. I hope this was helpful. I do personal sessions. My email address is in my profile, and you can find me on Instagram, Sedona Angel. You can find me on TikTok, Sedona Angel. So I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I will see you all soon. Take care.